Hey everyone, thanks for stopping back by the channel. Instead of doing a fishing video this week, I thought it'd be a pretty good idea to talk about some of the baits that I've been using this summer that have been really catching a lot of fish. Share with you what those baits are, how I've got them rigged, and hopefully they can help you out to catch some fish this summer. Here in Virginia, it's the 1st of July, I think it's the 7th of July. And our bass have moved down onto main lake points, so they're deep. They're in that 12 to 16, even some at 20 foot of water, depending on the clarity of the lake. And when that happens, we have to change our tactics. And a couple of the baits that I've been doing real well on this year, I'm going to give you 3, and then at the end I'll tell you about a couple of other baits that have worked as well. The other 2 won't be any surprise. But the 3 that I have something in common across all 3 of them. And the first thing, it's all a minnow looking bait. And it's all the same type of minnow looking bait. It's the Keitech Easy Shiner swim bait that I've been using. But I've been using it in 3 different techniques that have been really producing. And when I say really producing, lots of numbers. Caught lots of bass. Been out and caught 20 and 30 bass in one outing. Lots of big bass, caught a lot of 5 and 6 and 7 pound bass using these techniques with the Keitech Easy Shiner. But they're all 3 just a little bit different, and they're paired a little bit differently. I'll start with the first one, and you may have already seen me talk about this in a couple of my videos. And what I've done is I've taken a vibrating jig head. It's a Chatterbait jig head. You can buy these at Tackle Warehouse. I think they're called Big Eye Chatterbait jig heads. You get them in silver, gold, or black. And I'm taking a Keitech Easy Shiner, 5-inch, and I'm just running it in and turning this into a vibrating swim bait. Probably a lot of people use this already, or probably have hooked this up, or you can just use a chatterbait if you want, but I kind of like just the naked Keitech on there. It's a little crooked how I got it rigged up, but I think you get the idea. This is a used Keitech. But what I've been doing with this is I've been throwing it out, say over a point on the deep end. I'm like letting this fall all the way to the bottom, and then I'm violently jerking it up and letting it fall 6 or 8 feet, and then violently jerking it up. And usually what happens is when I go to jerk back up, they'll hammer it on that pull up. They'll just almost pull the pole out of my hand, and they'll hammer this. I'm not fishing like a standard chatterbait, or I'm jigging this I'm using this as a jig, and then just letting it drop down to that 10, 12, 14 feet, ripping it up, letting it fall back down and ripping it up, and it's been producing fish. The good thing about this bait though is if the fish are moving up a little bit shallower, you can fish this faster and shallower. If there's, the bass are active or a front's moving through and they moved up shallow early in the morning, something like that, you can use this as well for shallower water. But it's been a really good producing bait. It produced in the spring and it's continuing to produce in the summer. I'm just fishing it deeper and jigging it versus reeling it in like a standard chatterbait. I think the vibrating action when it pulls up really attracts the bass, and they jump right on it. I've caught a lot of bass on that this summer. I think I'll continue to use this until it doesn't produce. It probably will continue to produce as it is. Love a standard chatterbait, but I switched over to this. I call it my chatter swim. It's just a chatterbait jig head with that Keitech Easy Shiner swim bait on there. I do really like the Keitech Easy Shiner, and I do like the 5-inch is what I've been fishing. I don't fish the 4-inch anymore. I got some in the boat, but the 5-inch seems to be the right size. The action is really good when these things fall. I mean, they got a really good action on them. And I think that is what's the difference is in some of the other swim baits. And I've tried some others. And everybody has their own favorite swim bait. The Keitech Easy Shiner is the one that I like. Not the Swing Impact. The Swing Impact does not have the action of the Easy Shiner. Good bait, but I think for the techniques that I've been using, the Easy Shiner is the right type of bait, and it's got really good action. So that's one, and I call this my chatter swim. So another bait that I've been using is just basically jigging a straight Keitech Easy Shiner, 5-inch Keitech Easy Shiner. But what I've done is I've changed the jig head that I've been using. And I started to go to the Flatlands Jig Head, the Weedless Flatlands Jig Head. And you can get these on Tackle Warehouse. They're really good baits. I was using a standard net head, jig head on these, and it doesn't work. And the one thing I really liked about this, the way that you can rig this, you know, like so, and turn it around, you can wig it reedless, and the hook point ends up in the belly, the crease in the belly of these Keitechs. And it works out really good. It stays pretty weedless, and it does not affect the hookups. Man, I've been getting some good hookups with this jig head. I'm using a 3/0 version. I bought 2/0 and 3/0. Matter of fact, right before I started filming, UPS guy came by, and I'm pretty sure I got some Flatland Jig Heads and some more Keitechs in here. I'm gonna open them up before I end the video where you guys can see them. But this has been a killer bait. I mean, I just been stacking them up with this. I think it was Saturday morning, this past Saturday morning, July 2nd. I went out, caught some fish on a topwater. Then the topwater bite went away. I moved out onto a point, caught a 4-pounder, caught a 5-pounder, caught a 6-pounder, all on this Keitech Easy Shiner, that 5-inch version. This is the Copperfield color. The two colors I've been doing really good is the Copperfield and the Gold Flash is the other one that I've been really doing well on. But just standard rig jig head, you know, it's weedless. These hooks are really good and sharp. Like I said, I've used it in a 3/0 version. They make a 2/0, 3/0, 4/0. And the 3/16 size and the 1/4 ounce size is the weight size that I've been using. I like the slower fall because, like I said, the action on this bait when it falls, I think, is the thing that entices the bite. Not doing a real heavy weight. 1/4 ounce is probably as heavy as I've been fishing. This is a 1/4 ounce actually. So really good bait. And you know why I'm doing that, why I'm talking about this, let me just see if this is what's in this new Tackle Warehouse box. I'm pretty sure it should be these Flatland Jig Heads, and I'll show you that's exactly what it is. Got Flatlands Custom Jig Heads. And this is the Weedless Net Head. This is in the Green Pumpkin 3/16 3/0, just what I was just telling you I've been using. So I broke a few off and I ordered a few back up there. But I ordered more than one. I wonder why I don't have, maybe it's in this box. So this is what I've been fishing with and a little bit of unboxing here. And yes, here's some more. So I got a black, the 3/16 and the 3/0. And I bought some 3/0 1/4 ounce. That's what I was showing you just a moment ago. And just like I said, I've been using the 5-inch. This is the Tennessee Shad Keitech. This is the 4.5 Gold Flash Minnow. And boy, have I got them in the 5 as well. This is what the color of the Keitechs that I've been catching them on. I'm gonna try some bluegill flash as well. But this is the version of the Keitech 5-inch, and this is the Gold Flash Minnow, which I've been doing really well on. Here's some more jig heads. And I probably will try this. I bought the Arkansas Shiner. That's got a lot of gold color to it as well. And that kind of leads me to the third bait that I've been catching a lot of fish on. I wasn't planning on opening those up. It just worked out that way. The UPS man drove up at the right time. The third bait I've been fishing with and doing really well with is a swim jig. Now, I am not swimming this fast. I'm basically fishing this as a deep jig. Same type of setup. 5-inch Keitech Easy Shiner. I got a used one here. I don't want to mess up a good one. 5-inch Keitech Easy Shiner on the jig and just fishing it deep and swimming it in at 10, 12, jerking it, let it fall, jerking it, let it fall. They've been hammering this. When I'm not catching them on this, I usually can switch to this jig, and I've been doing pretty good on the jig. Everybody has a different brand that they prefer. I prefer the Talon Jig Heads, Talon Jigs, I should say. And this is the bait, this is the color that I've liked the most. It's called the Sexy Shad. Sexy Shad, and there was one, I think it's called the Hoochie Shad. Yeah, the Hoochie Shad and the Sexy Shad colors are the ones that I've been using. I've got all kinds of different colors, but very impressed, so impressed. I've got quite a few of them that I've ordered. But yeah, those jigs, those swim baits, swim jigs have been doing really well. And the swim jig pattern, the good thing about this as well is you can fish it shallow if you need to, but you can fish this deep as well. And I've been doing good in that 12, 14 foot. If you're watching this and you're local here in Virginia, these are the baits I've been using at Hunting Run, at Lake Mooney, at Able Lake, and the local lakes here. This is what I've been catching them on. Again, if you guys are out there and see me on the lake, and a lot of you do stop and say hi, or I watch your videos, and thank you, I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to drive over to my boat, or if I'm at the boat ramp, stop and talk to me. I'll chat with anybody, talk to you about how my fishing's going, and even tell you where to go catch some if you're not catching them. So I thought I'd take it some time to talk about these 3 baits that I've been using and catching a lot of fish on. Everyone has their own preference. These have been working out real well for me. I would say over the last 2 to 3 weeks, I probably caught 150 bass or more, quite a few. The worst day I had, unfortunately, Russell from RWA Fishing, he and I went out this last Sunday, and we only caught about 10 bass. And it was a front had moved through early in the morning, bluebird skies, east winds, but we still caught fish. And I think I caught them all on this or that swim jig, if I'm not mistaken. There'll be a video out on it soon enough to verify. But yeah, I've been catching a lot of fish and doing pretty well on these baits. Another thing that I have caught quite a few on as well is a topwater. I've caught several on a topwater. A chugger is what I like the Rebel Popar. The Storm brand is what I've been using lately. Can't remember the name brand of it, but it's just basically the chugger. It looks like a Popar. I've been doing well on that. I've thrown the Whopper Plopper a little bit. I've caught a couple on a Whopper Plopper, but that chugger with that big bloop action seems to be the one that the bass really want to jump on. So probably caught 15 to 20 bass so far this summer, maybe a few more than that on that chugger type topwater bait. I got a video that I'll be putting out here pretty soon, just with some topwater bites. So that's like bait number 4. The 5th thing that I have caught a few on, not a lot, a shallow running crankbait or jerk bait. When the fish are schooling, that really works. And I have actually, John and Lydia from Small Water Charter sent me a clown colored jerk bait that I caught quite a few on the other day out at Hunting Run, and that'll be out in the video here pretty soon as well. So just wanted to share with you. I didn't really plan on doing an unboxing, but it just happened, the timing was just right with UPS man driving up. But if you want to catch some fish, you want to add this to your repertoire of your tactics, I think the Keitech Easy Shiner, the 5-inch, in this chatter swim, or with a swim jig, or just with this weedless Flatlands Jig Head. I think those are really good baits. They've been really producing for me. Hopefully this is helpful for you and you can add this to your arsenal and get out there and catch some fish. Hey, thanks again for stopping by. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up. And if you're thinking about subscribing, please do. We put out a new video every week. Typically it's fishing, but we like to break it up and give you some techniques and talk about what I've been fishing and catching fish on. So until next time, tight lines and good luck fishing.